right. Well, first, thank y'all for being here this morning out of your planning time to hear my presentation. I'm going to be brief on my presentation, but if y'all will stick around a little bit afterwards so I can hear your ideas and opinions on the issue that I'm going to talk to you about today as part of my action plan for my course with Dr. William Kaiser at Jacksonville State University. So, the first thing that I'm going to start with. There we go. First thing I'm going to start with is telling you the problem that I first researched. So the problem that I had, that's a problem across the country actually, but here at Cleveland County High School it's even worse, is going to be that our students are struggling with not just reading skills, but reading comprehension and how to use those reading skills to the best way you possibly can. The scores on that I'm going from here, the reason that I say that we have a reading problem in Cleveland County is based on the ACT plan test that our 10th graders take every year. And the bottom part of the bar graph here is Cleveland County High School scores, and the top are the national average scores for the ACT plan reading part of the ACT plan test. And as you can see, we're getting better, which is always great, but we're still pretty far below the national average when it comes to our reading scores. So the problem that I see and that I research as part of my action plan is that we're struggling to read, but not just reading skills, but reading comprehension and how to use those things. So I start with the hypothesis on how to fix this problem. That using specialized strategies along with tactical utilization of primary, secondary, and visual sources will help improve the 11th grade United States history students below average reading scores and will provide them with the rich skills needed to be more prepared for and successful in post-secondary education. And of course, some definitions that can keep myself going so that I can fully understand that. Well, I looked at this, and some of the literature review that I read about is that it's not just a Cleveland County problem that we're dealing with. It's a national problem, and this was like shocking to me, especially as a history teacher who uses a lot of primary and secondary sources, that according to the National Assessment of Educational Progress, only 5% of adolescents tested in reading could interpret an author's point as expressed in a document, consistently provide supporting examples for their conclusions about a document, make connections between multiple texts, or recognize that a text author had a purpose in writing a particular document. So basically what that's saying is our students can read, but they just have no idea how to use that reading. So we have to find ways to show them how to use that reading. Another one, as a history teacher, this is important to me. Benjamin Butler wrote in his book, Strong Democracy, that learning how to locate, understand, evaluate, and use written and visual information is essential practice for citizens in a democratic, multicultural society. A strong democracy, one rooted in action and engagement, depends on the ability of the people to not only comprehend what they read, but also question and challenge it. So the big problem here is not just reading, because our students can read, but it's how to use that stuff. And so if we want to allow them to be successful in post-secondary education and make a stronger democracy and therefore a stronger America, then we're going to have to teach them those skills at the high school level so they can move on and be successful in life. So I've come up with a plan to fix the problem going from my hypothesis, and it's going to be implemented in my classes next year. They're going to be coached, my students are, using a multitude of specific reading and literacy strategies to coincide with those primary, secondary, and visual sources to help improve their reading skills and success based upon scores on the ACT test as well as their classroom grades. And this is the schedule of data that I'm going to go off of next year to see whether or not what I'm doing is going to be successful or whether that needs to be altered and we need to find a new way to make our students successful so that our ultimate job is going to be complete, and that's to prepare them for whatever they're going to do next. My references for the presentation, and again, please stick around, give me ideas, tell me whether or not you agree or disagree so that I can implement that action plan better next year. All right, thank y'all for your time.